Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I have my friend Rahul and today we will get to know his interview experience at Hyperface. Firstly, we will get to know about Rahul.
Okay. Hi, Shreyas.
Hi Rahul, how are you doing?
I'm doing good.
Yeah, firstly, let me know about the company. Like after that, we'll walk through all the process that you went through.
Okay, so Hyperface is a startup. It's a fintech startup. So basically, they provide credit cards as a service.
Okay.
So we provide APIs for the banks to build the front end and back end for co-branded credit card. So basically, they ease the whole process. So that's what the role of the company.
Okay.
So they came to Rvce for 3 roles basically.
Okay.
Front end, back end, and DevOps.
Okay.
So I applied for DevOps, but I think they streamlined both DevOps and backend as one.
Okay. At the time of interview process, right?
Yeah. So since it's a startup, we'll pretty much be covering both the sides. So there's not one separate division for it.
We'll go through the all the rounds beginning from the online assessment. Like how was the online assessment scheduled? Was it from home or from the college itself?
Online assessment was in college. They didn't want us to do it at home to prevent cheating.
Yeah.
So this was like unusual because usually when you go to any online assessment, there's like 3 coding questions or like 2 coding questions and then 15, 20 MCQs.
Yeah.
But here they gave us just one MCQ, one coding question.
Yeah.
And they gave us 2 hours to solve it.
Okay.
So that was very weird compared to any other companies that we have gone for interview.
Okay.
So they didn't expect us to optimize the code or anything. They just wanted a brute force solution.
Yeah.
It was not like data structure. It was a simple algorithm type question. So if you know how basic coding, you could solve it.
Yeah.
So I was able to solve the question in about 45 minutes.
Okay.
2 hours was more than enough for anyone to figure it out.
Yeah.
So the question was basically something related to, what do you say? Like you need to use set. So basically, there's set number of ingredients and set number of categories. So each day you keep getting ingredients as a category. And once we reach the unique number of category and ingredients was required was 2. So once you get those 2 ingredients and 2 different categories, you can cook the food and you need to print.
Okay.
So it was a very simple question and online assessment was pretty easy.
Like to crack the question, do we need a lot of practice or like if only logic is sufficient to crack the question?
Logic is necessary. I didn't have that much, pretty much no coding background or background, like practice in terms of interview question. But still it was easy and I was able to crack it.
Okay, fine. And like how many people were shortlisted from the this online assessment?
Okay, so online assessment, for the online assessment is basically different for front end and back end. That I had to make it clear. So back end role, I think they selected about 10 people, around 8 to 10 people. I don't know the exact number, 8 to 10 people for the yes round. And I think around another 5 or 6 in front end also.
Okay, got it. And then now we'll move to the first round of the interview process. Like basically how many rounds were scheduled in total?
Oh, we had around 6 rounds totally, I guess. 6 rounds. Okay. So the first round was technical round. So for technical round, basically they grilled us on basic CS fundamentals, OS. Then we had networking, computer architecture, all the stuff. It was more like an interactive question session. Like, so if you didn't know any answer, he tried to guide you to the answer.
Got it.
That was nice. So he asked a lot about RAM, CPU architecture, TCP, OSA model, and then NCS like scheduling, parallelism.
Like these were basic concepts or like advanced concepts?
Yeah, it was basic concept, but I think if you had like general knowledge of how any computer works or networks, I think you could answer most of them.
Okay, fine. Like this was your first round, right?
Yeah, and few DSA questions also was asked, but it's just purely theory, nothing like in terms of like writing or coding the question.
Okay, like no proper coding questions were there, only the basics of the computers were asked.
Yeah.
Now, like from this round, how many were shortlisted for the next round?
I don't think they removed anyone. It was like it was continuation process. So we have to go to another play. I don't think they rejected anyone in this round.
Okay, fine. So like what was your second round and how did it went for you?
Okay, the second round was basically designing of a cache. So we had to design an LFU, LRU cache in any of their language you want. So they took us to a separate room and they handed us a sheet.
Okay.
In that sheet, we had all the modules which your program must include. So the main component was it must have LRU, LFU. You must be able to switch it based on your user input.
Okay.
So you need to keep like asking, it'll go like one by one, each input at a time. And each of this input should also have what you call lifetime. So once we exceed this lifetime, it must be removed from the cache.
Yeah, got it.
There was few other additional implementation, but that didn't affect the functionality as much. It was just like a basic feature of every cache which must have.
Okay.
So we were allowed to surf the internet for the basic stuff in terms of like syntax or some general concept of cache. We could look at, but we cannot use anything like you cannot search for the solution. You cannot use ChatGPT. And the thing was, even I tried, even though if you search also like after the exam, I tried, you couldn't find something similar.
Yeah, got it.
It was because of how they modularized each question, you weren't able to get the answer there.
Yeah.
You were able to code it.
Like, is this a smooth round for you? Like, or did you struggle a little bit in this round?
Okay, I struggled initially, so I was kind of lost. Like, how do I kind of start with it? But then we had like other mentors were like guiding, they're walking around. So you could call them, they would help you. They'll be like, okay, this is your problem. Why don't you try like this? It was kind of like, again, they will tell you what to do, you're supposed to do.
Got it.
So I think they gave us about 1 hour. I was able to do this around 50 minutes. I was able to come finish it. And from this round, I think around 6 people. Yeah, I think 6 people went to next round.
Okay.
The rest were out.
And what was your game round?
Okay, yeah. So third round was kind of like, they took me separately to an HR type round.
Okay.
So my resume was more on machine learning. So they asked me like, are you interested in this company? It's kind of like a trick situation because if you say you're not interested, they will probably remove you.
Yeah.
So, but I was interested and I wanted to learn. They were telling, since it's a startup type company, you will have to. They will not be able to teach you everything. You must put your own effort. And so it was kind of like a mini HR session over there.
Okay, like here, almost technical part was over, right? Like it was more of HR and managerial kind of round, or still technical part?
That's what I thought, but it's actually there's few more rounds. That's what I thought. It was a HR type. I thought it was actually an HR, but we had few more technical rounds.
Okay. Yeah, like only these kind of questions, right? Like, do you want to join our company or not? Like,
yeah, that was the question. They will not like join a company. Like, if you join, will you be able to perform? Would you take this role? Your skill is different from what we do. Will you be able to learn by yourself?
Okay.
Yeah, so those are the questions they asked. And then the next round was system design.
Okay.
So again, I didn't expect there to be a technical round, but we had a technical round. So in system design, so they gave me a library management system. And they're given few criteria about how many librarians are there, how would you build the database if there are many types of book, many types of author. If you have to keep a track of fees or fine count, how would you design it? So as I kept building, they kept adding more and more constraint.
Okay.
And I had to keep implementing or adding up those constraints to my database.
Okay.
So that was there for around half an hour.
And like system design is very new for us. Like we have not studied that separately, right? Like with the help of whatever concepts we have learned before, by using them only, we need to answer that, right?
Yes. So this was again my first time attending any system design question.
Yeah.
I was very nervous. But the thing is, they were very helpful. They made it clear, okay, you don't have to worry. They guided me to the person. If I was stuck, he would be open or willing to help me out.
Okay.
It was so basically they wanted you to come out with a solution with their guidance.
Yeah, like
it was always like interact with them at any point and don't stay silent. So that is one tip you could keep in mind while taking any interview.
Okay, got it. And basically this was your 4th round, right? Until 4th round.
Yeah.
And like how was your experience like in this 4th round? Like did you struggle here or?
Okay, no, it was pretty easy since if you know basic EVMS concept, you were able to build and you were able to answer any questions he asked in between. So it was fine. It was actually easy to tell you.
And how many people went through this round after this?
I think all the back-end people who got selected for back-end and DevOps had to go through. So I guess, as I said, 6 people were selected to this.
Yeah.
So almost 6 of them going through this.
Like all of them passed this round, right?
Yeah, all 6.
Okay.
I think all 6. Yeah.
Yeah. And what about the last second round, 5th round?
Okay, so 5th round was now the resume round. So they took us to another room. So there were two of them. So they grilled us fully on your resume, what you did on each project, what was your contribution, and if you could do it better, how could you do it better? What changes would you make? So they grilled all our concepts of all concepts of your resume. So that was, you had to explain in your projects in detail.
Okay, got it. And like in this round, did they expect anything in back-end part also in the resume, or were they satisfied with the machine learning part?
Okay, they didn't care too much about the machine learning part. They asked me like, okay, you have done a machine learning project. What is the back-end part you did?
Okay.
Like I had a few projects where I hosted it on Blender. So they're like, how did you do the whole process? What was the each step you went through for hosting it?
Okay.
So I had to explain those processes to them.
Okay. And this was also easy round, I think, for you.
Yeah, it was pretty easy.
And what about the last round?
Okay, now last two, there were 2 HR rounds. So one HR round was something like technical plus HR. They asked me about basics of again computer system.
Okay.
And then they asked more about, like, they gave me a puzzle. I had to solve the puzzle.
Okay.
And there was a few HR questions also inbuilt with this.
Okay.
So it was all together, it was like a mini of each subsets on that.
And in total, how many were selected?
I don't think they removed anyone. We removed anyone in these 2 rounds. I think everyone was selected for like basically 6.
Okay.
Yeah, 6 of us.
Like
and then I don't know how many were there in front end. So this I'm giving all the on back end.
Yeah, I got it. In what phase of the interview process did you think it was a difficult? Like, was it a online assessment part, or afterwards? Like, which interview round did you feel it was the most difficult round?
Okay, I think I felt technical and cache implementation was the most hardest.
Okay.
Because cache implementation, though you know how to code at that moment, you wouldn't be able to actually put it correctly, or you couldn't get the correct solution, because it's not just implementation. They'll come and they'll check how correct your algorithm is. Okay. So they'll give different input, they'll give different popping mechanisms. So it must be correct in all aspects. So that was something a little difficult. And technical also, they asked some complex concept like probabilistic data structure. I didn't know exactly what that was. So those 2 were the most difficult part. Online assessment was easy. System design was pretty easy. I could build it. I could relate all the tables.
Okay.
Resume also was easy, as you know.
Okay. So before leaving, one tip for all the viewers who are watching out there.
Okay, one tip I would give is, when you're having an interview, always have a conversation with the interviewer. Interviewer is not your enemy. They are your friend. They will help you guide through the process. They will give you suggestions if you're stuck anywhere. So always keep an open mind and talk with them. Give out your thought process. So they must understand what you're trying to think, or are you going in the right direction?
Yeah, exactly.
So that is one tip. Okay. Another one would be confident. You actually know more than you think. You know. So be confident. You need to give them the suggestion that, okay, even if you don't know, you are willing to put that effort to that.
Okay, good.
Okay, so you must be confident and have a conversation with your interviewer throughout the process.
Okay. So Rahul, how many people were selected in total by Hyperface?
So for backend, they selected 3 of us. And in front end, they selected 2. So totally 5 from our college.
Like you told, like all of them who went after the second round were qualified totally, right? Like
they qualified for the HR, but the final verdict after the final HR was basically 3 from backend and 2 from front end.
Okay, so basically all the rounds were important rounds, right? Like the last round was also important.
Yes, so they didn't shortlist much. They didn't remove a lot of people throughout between process. In the end, they told how many were selected.
Okay, got it. So that's the interview experience of Rahul at Hyperface, and I want to thank Rahul for joining for the first episode of the podcast. I want to create this series of videos, like where I will try to bring out all the friends who have placed in companies, and I will try to give suggestions with the help of their complete knowledge that they have gained through their experience in the interview. So thank you, Rahul, for joining.
Thanks for having me, Shreyas.
Yeah, and if you like the video, guys, please don't forget to subscribe to my channel and please drop a like. Thank you.